Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're all doing very well. It is a dreary day here in I won't say hometown because this is not my home. But I wanted to check in. It is the day before the 5th of November. A very important day and a very important election indeed. Might even be the most important election of our lifetimes, I've heard, every 4 years. For as long as I can remember. I remember my first memory of an election was Bill Clinton against, I think it was George Bush, and that was 1992. My parents were very, very much against Bill Clinton because, he is just a dirty, lying politician. Not like that other guy. That other guy, he's honest. New World Order Georgie has our best, I don't even know if it was George Bush. They're all literally the same. But I would like to call back to 1990. It was either 90 or 91. I think it was 1990. It was September 11th of 1990, which was 11 years to the day before you know what. When good old Daddy Bush, King Bush the First, got up in front of the country and said that they were building a new world order. And when we are successful, and we will be, blah, 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 blah. And then what happened 11 years later, I ask you? And when you look into what happened that day, I suggest looking into the similarities to the Temple of Solomon with the two towers. It's very interesting. And then while you're at it, you might as well look at the inside of any Masonic hall in the United States or world at large. I think that's really fun. You might look into that. Which leads me to my next point. I've been banned from r/conspiracy and r/conspiracy_commons for mentioning who runs the world. I mentioned that a specific group of people who make up roughly 2%. Hold on. They make up roughly 2% of the global population, are just absolutely controlling not only the Congress, the Senate, all of that, and media. Man, I just totally derailed my train of thought. What I was trying to get at is that there's a disproportionate percentage of these people in positions of power compared to their global or even national population numbers. It's insane. And here's the thing. Every educational book you've read or you've been taught or told has been filtered by the people that write history. And if that 2% of people control most of what you read and see, it calls into question what you learned about the 1930s and 40s, doesn't it? It really does. And it calls into question the entirety of history. History is absolutely written by the victors, and you need only see who controls the almighty dollar to see who the victors were. They paint themselves as this just absolutely persecuted race when in reality, they've stolen your birthright, your real birthright. I know I sound like a certain failed painter, but your birthright isn't like some supreme superiority. No, that was redundant. Isn't some superiority racially. It's what you work for and like what your parents have worked for. They steal that from you. It's called usury. They own the banks. Those who control the money don't care about the laws, and they don't care about what you say. And but they can sure as hell control what you say, be it through brainwashing or censorship. I didn't say a single disparaging fact, although there are many, about this group of people on Reddit. Just the mere mention of them controlling the world got me banned from two groups specifically geared towards focusing on conspiracies, and this is the definition thereof. You know, they keep us focused on literally everything besides what's really happening, and people eat it up. It's just so sad to watch. You know, people that say, "Oh, I really can't stand the government. I'm gonna vote for who rules the government." God, it's just such weakness. You think you need these people. You depend on them. They depend on you. They depend on your ignorance and your believing that you depend on them. It's so sad to see people so duped. I don't know that I can handle another election cycle. I don't know that there will be another one. I know everybody says that every 4 years because it just keeps getting worse and worse. But I want to be as far away from Americans as I can be next time this happens, because people just become deliriously hateful, and for no reason. I tell people I don't support either politician, and they get mad. You tell them you do support a politician, you get half of the people mad. Tell them you support the other politician, you get the other half mad. Tell them you support no politicians, and you get everybody mad. And I think that's really telling. Everybody knows. They know in their hearts that what they're doing and what they're voting for is evil. They admit it by saying they're voting for the lesser of two evils. And I don't think there's a single person in America now that doesn't acknowledge somewhere within their being that they're voting for the lesser of two evils. But they know that, and it puts up a mirror when I tell them that I won't co-sign that. I won't co-sign evil. I won't have my signature on a ballot being used to bomb innocent children. I won't do it. It gets them mad. It gets people really mad because it makes them realize that what they're doing is participating and consenting to that which they find repugnant. And that's the worst type of cognitive dissonance that there can be, in my opinion. But it's so sad. You know, it's a wall they absolutely will not get over. I can have conversations all day with Trump supporters about how fucked up the government is, and I can have conversations all day with Harris supporters about how fucked up the government is. But once you actually call into context what that means and what that means for their vote, then they get really petty and upset. Go over to Conspiracy No Poll on Reddit and check out. There's probably one of the latest posts I made about how I'm getting kicked out of other groups for calling out the Jays. Look at the quality of responses I'm getting. I'm just being attacked for no reason other than I'm pointing out that a certain group of people owns most things. They own the land that you purchase from the bank that you mortgage. Mort. What is that? That's a death deal, man. Mortgage. Look up what words mean. You're literally selling selling your existence and your corporeal being to these people. And people get mad when you call it out. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm the one-eyed man in a world full of blind men. To steal or paraphrase a quote from what is that? Minority Report. I just give me a comment. What's your thoughts about what happened in the 30s and 40s? I don't know if you've had a chance to listen, but all of the painters' speeches, those really, really scary speeches, have been translated. And they're not so scary once you listen to them in context. And I challenge you to go look at the books that were burned. First ones that were burned were books by Karl Marx. Like, guys, look at what oh golly, what is his name? Patton. Look at what Patton said about who won the war. We defeated the wrong enemy. And then look at what Winston Churchill said. We slaughtered the wrong pig. Guys, it's all there. You've just been duped. Your parents sent their children, to a school to be taught in a system that is geared towards lying to people and suppressing actual history. And you can't be blamed for falling for it, but yeah, you ought to come out of it once it's pointed out to you. I don't hate on anybody. This isn't anti-anybody, but it is pro-truth. You know, anytime you call out a group for doing something, a protected group, I should say, it's anti-this and anti-that. You know, what is it? Homophobic, anti-Semitic, blah, 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 blah. No. I'm pro-truth. And truth is in short supply these days. Anyway, I gotta go to work. I don't like doing it, but I gotta do it. I gotta get my kids some money somehow. Have a good day.